Picking up where we left off, we were at the bonfire of all the leaders of the different tribes of Zahith. We had a couple of flashbacks to. I can hear myself echoing. I don't know in whose.
That's probably because I've got one ear on.
Yeah, let's take one guess.
Yeah, we had a couple of flashbacks to Gildor's as a youngster, the day he got chosen to be Master of Mages, as well as his last day before he fled. You guys then managed to convince the majority of the leaders of the different tribes to, in a sense, join you on your quest to the tribe of Mortuus to try and investigate the source of Shadow Glass and to what it may be used for. In doing so, you managed to fire gaze alongside Fallon Kibelin, the High Priestess of the Concilius tribe, where you got an insight into sort of what's going on, who's the people of interest, which you worked out to be Vilgefortz, who is currently the leader of the Mortuus tribe and was previously the Master of Mages. You all then went off on your own for a little bit as the sort of different warriors from the different tribes came to Concilius, ready to depart the next morning over to Mortuus. At this point, we had Zarlok sit down with Valandor, who gifted him a compass leading to other strong warriors, with the ultimate goal finding the compass with number 1 and being crowned the world's strongest warrior. Jaff had a conversation with Civis. I don't remember if I'm just double checking the name. Yep, Civis, who was the mother of someone he once knew, who asked if she could bring back her daughter from
Civis was the daughter's name. It was Ciara Minora.
Ciara, apologies. Yeah, Ciara asked if she could bring back her daughter from the dungeons in Mortuus. Yeg was chirping up some elf from the Manti tribe, playing some music for her. No, her name actually was Seraphina, and she was practicing her blade singing forms to your music. And as a little thank you, she taught you the Booming Blade cantrip, which you use now on your character sheet as well.
So it is.
And finally, Gildor Gilgalad was having some conversations with Fallon about magic in general and the fact that he's learned different schools of magic as opposed to just the divination magic that he'd been studying whilst being a member of the Concilius tribe, and was asking her about her relationship with Vilgefortz, the previous Master of Mages. And the last thing she said was that Vilgefortz was her lover, her husband, and was also the father of Gildor. And at that revelation, we will pick up our story. So Fallon is away from everyone with you, Gildor, and has just uttered the words, Vilgefortz was my lover, he was my husband, and he was your father, my son. And you see a single solitary tear fall down from the corner of her left eye, and she sort of turns to look away from you, unable to continue.
Can I make an insight check to see if this is really, honestly, the truth?
Feel free. She's a hard person to read, and there's a lot of emotions going off on her right now. But even you can tell that this outburst of emotion is something is because she's been holding this secret for a long time.
I think that's probably the straw that broke the camel's back for Triple G. He's currently at 12 hit points. Just after coming back, everything that's gone on, all of that stuff, like finding out that there's something outside of the weave that has deeply unsettled Triple G, and this revelation, I think I'm just going to say to her, honestly, I need to be alone. I need to digest that for the night, and I will come to you in the morning, and I will have my questions. But for now, I need to be alone, please.
She nods. You can tell she's sad, but also understanding that it's a lot for you to process. You've had a very eventful 24 hours with your return to the village and all the revelations you've had. And she simply nods and says, I understand. I'll give you your space. We'll be riding out at first light tomorrow, so perhaps along on our journey you can come to me when you're ready. And she sort of looks down at her hands with a sadness, but also a relief that she's finally got it off of her chest. But yeah, she understands it's a tough one for someone to take at such short notice.
I think the idea that there is something out there that is older and more prominent, shall we say, than the weave is really doing a number on Triple G. Seeing as
are you referring to the energy that you felt when you were? Yeah,
threw me back out of the fire and hit me for all of that damage, and yeah, the idea that he has had that connection, and it has a lot of, pretty much all of Triple G's thesis in his brain now is exploring the weave and fully comprehending and acknowledging what the weave actually is, all of the aspects of it, not just the good stuff like we'll predict the future and everything will be okay. Like, there are many facets to it, good and bad, and I will end up probably killing people when we go to have this fight, so I can't turn my back towards that. But the idea that there is something beyond even that is too much probably for me to have to digest alongside another set of parents at the moment. So yeah.
Cool. So you head off, and at this point everyone's sort of dying down for the evening. They know that tomorrow is the day they march out and begin their trek to Mortuus. So unless anyone has anything they want to do before going to sleep.
No.
Perfect. So you all head to these little makeshift huts that have been built by some of the abjuration mages and the conjuration mages that all work together just to produce these sort of makeshift little mud huts that everyone's sort of staying in, and you all go to your own respective ones and settle down for the evening. As you all fall asleep, Jaff, you are visited by another vision in your dreams. You see the figure of Ekthys sitting on his throne, holding a short sword in one hand and this greenish white necromantic energy in his other. His skeletal figure looking down at you, and he says to you in a croaky, vibrationary sort of voice, "My humble servant, your weak, pathetic mortal body can't handle the power I bestow to you. I have so much more to give, but being of mortal flesh, you cannot control it as best as I know you could. Allow me to remake you stronger, more powerful than you were before. And I promise the price is not too much to pay." And he sort of lets out a gravelly chuckle as he says this. "Besides, you'd do anything for vengeance, would you not?" And you sort of see, you're looking through your own eyes, and you can see yourself almost in this moment transported to the dungeon basement below the Temple of Ao where you first met Ekthys.
I'll look down at my kind of hands and my own figure, I guess, as he's telling me that my body is weak and incapable of the power that he's trying to give me. And I'll ask, I take it the price is for you to know and for me to find out.
He chuckles once again, and the sort of ruby red dots where his eyes would be like glint and shimmer in the darkness. He says, "You're learning, yes. You will find out when the time is right. If you accept and you see your glaive materializes sort of in your hands, simply make a slice in your palm and drop the blood onto the shaft of the glaive."
I look at this glaive for a minute and I'll just run my fingers down the names carved into the side of the hilt. And then I'll sigh and slice my palm open and drip the blood down the blade and the hilt.
As the blood begins to drip down the shaft of your glaive, the blood passes through each of the names, each of the 5 names you have that are sort of, they're not physically on the shaft. If anyone was to look at the shaft, they wouldn't see them. They're sort of a manifestation of shadow. And as the blood drops through each of the names, they flash a different colour, a brighter, it's almost white shadow in and amongst the black shadow that encompasses the shaft. As it drips down the last name, the blood begins to swirl and coalesce, and a new name is at the bottom, underneath the original 5. But the text that produced the name is constantly shifting and swirling, never staying the same letters, even language at points. And you realise at this point, whatever you have done has added one more name onto your list.
I take it. I can't read that. It's kind of
it's almost like the letters are constantly changing. The moment you try and get a read of what it might say, the letters changing into something else. It's constantly just cycling through different letters, different alphabets, different languages, some that you recognise, some that you don't. Ekthys simply chuckles, clicks his fingers, and you wake. It is now the morning after your night's sleep, and you look down at your hand that you sliced open, and the tissue has already begun to scar over. And you look down at your body now, and you're still human, you're still you, but you're paler, you're cold to the touch, and you place your hand over your chest, and your heartbeat is so rhythmically slow, almost to the point where it beats, and you wait, and you wait. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a full minute, and then the next beat of your heart happens, and this 1 minute long rhythmic beating of your heart is something that fills you with dread, but also you understand the power that has been given to you. You feel in your body more lithe, more supple, stronger, and you feel his magic within you intensify. So it's the morning, everyone wakes, and Valandor is waiting at the edge of the Concilius sort of tribes area in the sort of valley of the mountains, getting ready, the troops, picking out marching formations, speaking to the other leaders of the clans, and in essence, working out who will be leading the charge, who will be in front of the vanguard, giving different roles to the different groups of mages. So, in essence, you have the transmutation mages are there to protect from the elements. The paladins are praying for safe passage. Evocation mages will scout off ahead and just try and keep any natural dangers away. The enchantment mages of F4 will just be firing off suggestions at anything that gets too close. The conjurers have produced some elementals that will help lead the vanguard. And at the centre will be Fallon and some other divination wizards trying to intercept any divination coming their way, whilst also trying to glean any information they can as they journey. Valandor, yes.
Just quickly, so mechanically, have we long rested?
Yes, everyone's long rested. Everyone's got their spell slots back, health back.
Right, okay, thank you.
Yeah. And as you all wake up, have your quick bite to eat, and join this fighting force, which is around about 100 strong at this point.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have come. People, I think the general consensus from a lot of the leaders were, if we're going to do this, there's no point half-assing it. We have to throw everything we have at this. And Gildor, for the first time in 100 years, you realise that the tribes of Zahith are united, just as they were before you were born. All the stories you've read, how it was a united nation of elves, independent tribes but still united. That hasn't been the case for your life, and this is the first time in your lifetime you've seen A, so many people together, and B, so many people together united.
The thought dawns on me that if we pull this off, Yeg's book is going to sell out everywhere, like across the country.
Do you want me to keep your name as is, or do you want me to use a different name?
I'm thinking, what will get me over with the children of today? Gil or Triple G is more trendy.
Triple G is pretty trendy.
Gildor, Gilgalad's just a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
No one thought about that in the naming.
I'll put an asterisk next to it, and I'll come back to it.
Jaff, what the fuck, mate? We've spoken about this. You've got to sleep properly. We're about to go to war, and you look like shit.
Yeah, wasn't the best sleep last night. I'm not quite sure. The nightmares. The nightmares are still coming a little bit, to be honest with you. I thought we'd sorted them, but...
Honestly, hang on a minute. Do we know, above table, do we know that Luke has made this pact with...
No. You're all currently unaware. You know he went down to the basement underneath the Temple of Ao and came back and didn't really divulge too many details.
In that case, I can think of absolutely no reason why you would be having bad dreams, and I suggest magnesium before bed.
I'll look into that. I'll see if there's any apothecaries along the way selling some magnesium supplements.
I turn to Zarlok and say, "We're going to need you on top form, mate. I don't know how Jeff's going to operate under these conditions."
I want to fucking kill someone.
As you say this, Zarlok, Valandor sort of uses a bit of magic to enhance his voice and shouts out to the army. People of Zahith, today will be a big day in our history. To all of you who have come to aid us in our journey, I salute you. And to those of you who will not make it back, I salute you twice. And he takes his sword out, sort of thrusts it into the air and says, "Onwards we march!" And the troops of Zahith begin to march. You were told it's about a day and a half travel to Mortuus, and you begin your journey. Let me just go to the map. Sorry.
Do you say tonight we march or today?
Today
we march. So you've begun your march.
Just building the itinerary for what's to come.
You begin your march southeastwards towards Mortuus. You have a day and a half of a travel that is going to be fairly uneventful, so feel free to use this time for any conversations you wish to have with anyone or yourselves.
We're fully marching from Concilius to Mortuus.
Yeah, dude.
Yes. You are going to stop over. You're going to stop overnight at the F4 tribe, just for a night's sleep, and then in the morrow again you will carry on your journey until you reach the the ebony sands of Mortuus.
I would like to, whilst walking, pull Yeg to one side and say, Yeg, I'd just like to say I know that a lot has been going on here, and a lot of this is, for better or worse, revolved around me. But I want you to know that I've not forgot about what we saw with your mum, and that as soon as the pressing matters of Zahith are addressed, we will find, or we will get to the bottom of that as quickly as possible.
Hey, I'm Team Zahith, baby.
This is it. We have to be all in on this, otherwise
one job at a time. You know.
Don't
sweat the small stuff. All wars are small stuff, so it's best not to worry about it.
I honestly couldn't agree more, and I sort of turn to Zarlok. I feel that we have plenty to work with. So fantastic, mate. I just wanted to check in, little morale check.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's not all about me, we're a team. We are. This is still thinking of group names. That's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Again, trying to appeal to the youths. I'll put a pin in that because I'm not going to lie. Yeah,
it didn't
not
come
my
through,
strong
so
suit.
my ears went. I've got tinnitus, mate. So
Okay.
Yeg somehow has tinnitus.
Shell-shocked childhood is. I'm not sure.
Jan, I'm gonna spend like the first half of our little march across looking for any kind of poison supplies I can forage. Probably looking out for them cactuses you mentioned, but in case there is anything else I can kind of scrummage around for, then I'd love to do that. And then I'd also, at a certain point on the march over, I'd like to look for an opportunity for when
Valandor.
Landor is kind of free and not like when there's a spare time to kind of go over and talk to him.
Yeah, you can make either a nature or a survival check to try and find those ingredients.
Nature.
So yeah, you break off from the main bulk of the fighting force portions with Enfer at your side, and a lot of the mages try and stop you, but Enfer gives them a little bit of a growl, and they think, I'm not going to mess with the baby dragon, and they sort of let you go. You find a few of these cacti that the sap that they produce has paralytic effects, and being very careful to obviously not prick yourself on any of the pricks, you manage to gather enough stuff that would produce 2 paralytic poisons. So when you get to F4 this evening, you can take some time to mix those with your other supplies that you have and produce 2 poisons of paralysis. As you sort of come back from your foray, you notice that Valandor is leading this group, and whilst being eagle-eyed and sort of keeping his head out and, barking orders at different mages that are sort of becoming a little scouting regiment up ahead, he looks open and approachable if you would like to go over to him.
Open and approachable. That's nice.
I'm glad he looks open and approachable. Yeah, so I'll kind of make my way up alongside him, and I'll kind of put my arm on his shoulder, and I'll say, it's eerie this ever so slightly, as to going to fight once again. It's been a long time since we've had one another at our sides.
He chuckles and says, Indeed, those were some good times in my not so distant youth. He was only for an elf, it seems not too long ago, but even now I feel a bit. And he sort of cracks his back a little bit and says, I'm getting on a little bit, but hey, one last fight, and then hopefully I can retire and enjoy the wonders of Zahith. There's a lot of beautiful areas of desert, some sandy areas, some other sandy areas, and a couple of more sandy areas. And he sort of chuckles and barks another order at an evocation mage who just sends off a little firebolt at an Ankeg that got too close. How have you been in all these years?
It's been tumultuous. It's been a roller coaster, I'll be honest with you. But one thing I truly never forgot was what you taught me and what you did for me. And who knows what will be waiting for us in Mortuus? Who knows what we will face when we get there? Whether or not either of us will come out unscathed. However, while I still had the chance, I wanted to thank you for being one of the more dependable people I've had influence my life. There's very few that I hold to the same regard as you, and you truly helped me turn from a boy to a man. The lessons you taught me, I will always remember, and I will always keep with me.
He sort of claps you on the shoulder, brings you in for like almost like an older brotherly hug, where like he sort of wraps his arm around your neck and sort of pulls you in close and says, "Well, get through this, and maybe you can teach me a few lessons." And they say you can't teach an old elf new tricks, but I wanted to bet I've got a little bit of stuff in the locker.
Well, don't you go fucking dying on me then, Valanta.
He laughs, says, "Likewise to you. I'm sure you've got much more of a story to tell." And then he sort of goes back to commanding some of the scouting. One of the evocation mages comes back and said that there's a couple of large beasts to the north, and he changes the route around just to keep them out of the way.
I'll shrink back into the crowd and look for Yeg. I don't know if Triple G will be busy kind of doing his other elfly stuff, so I think I'll probably look for Zarlok and Yeg specifically, as we're all a little, and Gandfal and Snow as well, because we're all kind of like the visitors here, I guess.
Yeah, you find them all easy enough. They're with Gandfal and Snow.
Jaff.
Snow.
There you are.
Snow is overheating with his thick white fur coat in this very hot and sweltering desert. He's just constantly pouring water over his head, and his fur's like matting. And then 5 minutes later, it's now dry and sort of gets a bit frizzy from the heat as it dries off.
Gandfal's cooking, tanning.
Gandfal's getting a nice tan.
I'll go over to Zarlok actually and give him a little like punch in the shoulder. An endearing punch in the shoulder, but a punch in the shoulder nonetheless. And I'll say, "You ready to smash some heads, big man?"
As he screams, some of the scouts like sort of look around, like what happened? They just see an angry Goliath scream, and they think better of him to ask why he's screaming in the middle of the desert and carry on with their duties.
I'm so excited to smash.
I'll kind of worryingly give him 5 feet and be like, "Yeah, that's my boy."
Thank fuck this geese is on our side.
Yeah.
Go get him, fuck, he's not waiting for us in Mortuus.
So yeah, at this point, the sun's starting to get low, and you see the F4 tribe in the distance, and it's a very short pit stop. You sort of go in, all the elves have their 4-hour trance. You guys are welcome to take a long rest if you want, but you will not be penalised for not doing so. You're happy to have that.
I would very quickly like to, a day has passed. Triple G has come to the conclusion that the quicker that this conversation with Thalen happens, the quicker it can be done and out of the way. And I don't want to do a disservice to the rest of my adventuring party by having my attention elsewhere. So I want to speak to her now.
You find her easily enough, and she's sort of been expecting you. You've actually noticed throughout the journey that she's shot you a few little sideways glances, but obviously has respected your distance. And as you do approach, she says, "Come, I know somewhere private we can speak." And she leads you off sort of towards the back of the F4 tribe, just sort of behind what looks like almost like a town hall of sorts, sort of made of this very simplistic muddy sandstone, and she takes you off behind there. And
before she can say anything, I start and say, "I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Do not bullshit me and do not ramble. Tell me the truth and speak plainly."
She nods. She doesn't even say yes, she just nods.
Are you my mum?
Yes.
And Vilgefortz is my dad?
Yes.
What happened between you both?
She sighs and says, "I'll try and be brief, but our past is long and complex. Me and Vilgefortz have been in love since we were children. He was an exemplary mage in Concilius with me, and when he was chosen to be Master of Mages, I couldn't be happier. He was like you, eager for knowledge. He loved the magic and the weave. He wanted to study all of its aspects, and he got into a little bit of trouble for doing so. But I think that's what made his mentor choose him to be Master of Mages. And as he took on the mantle, he had some ideas that could seem radical to some. He wanted a united Zahith. He wanted the tribes to share knowledge. He wanted children from each of the tribes to travel on almost a pilgrimage around to learn all facets of magic, and some of the other leaders were hesitant for this. They believed that their secrets should be kept within in case it could be used against them. He received a lot of pushback, and it frustrated him, but he still did a wondrous job as Master of Mages. We were in love, and it was weird, me being the High Priestess and leader of our tribe, and him being the master of all of the tribes in a sense as Master of Mages. But one night I had a vision. I felt an immense dark presence emanating from deep in the Underdark, something that could threaten the very substance of the weave. As a leader, I had to come and tell him what I divined. I spoke to him. I told him what I knew and what I felt, but I warned him that whatever it was dangerous and shouldn't be troubled lightly. He took it upon himself to go and investigate himself. I begged him not to. I begged to accompany, but he told me I had to stay and be a presence within our tribe. So off he went, and he never said when he'd be back. We knew it'd be a while, and around a month later, he returned, but he was different. He was changed. I felt the same dark presence within him that I had once divined coming from the Underdark. And when he returned, it was like someone else entirely. He was angry. He was malevolent. He was speaking about necromancy and the power that he'd understood and that he'd encountered, and he wanted all of the tribes to focus purely on necromantic magic, and everyone was confused as to what happened, and the leaders decided that action had to be taken, that whatever had happened to him had turned him into something that we could no longer look to as a leader. Battle ensued, and many mages fell. Some of the previous leaders of the tribes passed, and he fled to the Mortuus tribes. And whilst he was away on his journey to the Underdark, I realised I was pregnant with you, and the only people I had told were your, and she uses inverted commas here, parents, Galen and Valindra. And I knew if the other leaders found out that Vilgefortz had sired a son, they would be terrified of the prospect of another Vilgefortz. So I did what I had to do to keep you safe. I delivered you in secret. I gave you to Galen and Valindra to look after and to keep away, and to hope that you wouldn't follow your father's path. I'm sorry, it was my biggest regret, but the safety of you and the safety of the tribes had to come first. And every day training with you for those 2 years when we were reunited were the happiest days of my life. But I couldn't tell you. I couldn't wait. I couldn't watch to see you turn into your father. And when you showed me the fact that you'd have studied necromancy with your chill touch cantrip the other evening, I feared the worst. I still do, but I have to just trust that you are good like your father was, and you will not become who your father became.
Did you see what I saw? That thing that's older and greater than the weave? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, it was similar. The same darkness, malevolence, but more potent, more powerful, more realized. I can't say I understand it. All that I know is that it is dark and it is evil, and it seems to corrupt anything that gets close. And I just implore you for once, please trust me and be careful, because anything can happen if you get too close to that. I can't protect you. Mistra can't protect you. The Weave can't protect you.
I think about the idea that someone, and not only someone, but my dad had the exact same sort of ideals of actually uniting the country that I do, and it both excites me that someone shares that knowledge and that idea for the first time, but also terrifies me that it could go so wrong. And I just say to her, I will do what is best for this country, and I walk off to go and find these three.
As you walk off, she just says, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope once this is all done, we can have some sort of relationship. It pains me to know all the years I've wasted, and I have no one to blame but myself, but it was tough. But please be with your friends and just please survive this, get through this, and we can talk more once this is finished. And she allows you to walk off.
I ignore her.
She cries as you walk off, quietly, but even you can tell that she's tearing up at this point.
I prestidigitation one of Yeg's theme tunes, so I can't hear Sugar cry. I'd like to join back up with my with the lads.
How are we feeling?
I'm probably sinking a few cold ones with Zarlok the night before a battle. The one thing I would like to do, Jan, is look for some kind of ink or like quill, something I may be able to write with.
That's completely fine. You're in the F4 tribe, so you can make an investigation check.
Investigation. Oh.
It takes you a little bit of a while just to sort of go around, and you're just asking for random elves, and most people aren't from this tribe, so can't really direct you, but eventually you find someone who looks like they're from here, and they just point you over to the direction of a little warehouse with like papyrus, parchment, ink, quills, and writing utensils, and you go and you get everything you need.
So all I'm going to take is a quill and some parchment really quickly, and I'm going to pull out my pack of cigarettes, and I'm going to be careful to pick a thus far untouched one and just write something on it quickly, and then just return the ink and quill.
If you guys are happy with everything, then I'll say you'll go to sleep. Those of you that want to take a long rest can, but you also be fine if you want to take like a power nap. And like, for example, Gildor, if you want to keep your dice that you rolled, you're welcome to. You don't need to have a long rest here. All begin your journeys towards Mortuus, and after an hour or two of traveling, you guys notice that the sand beneath your feet, which at the start was this white, golden, beautiful sand, begins to darken. It started off white, yellow, gold, and now is a darker, almost caramel-coloured sand, and it keeps getting darker and darker. And as the sand turns almost jet black, you approach the exterior of the mountain in which the volcano, even in which Mortuus resides under. It's still a fair way off in the background, but as you guys all see it, sputtering magma and rivulets of lava dribble down the sides, the landor sort of barks out a few orders, and the troops cluster up and prepare for action.
Guys, just a quick note.
Yeah.
We still don't know how we're getting into this volcano, do we?
That's a very good point. Are there any? How close are we right now? Are we?
You're still about half a mile away. You can't really make out too many features. If you make perception checks.
A solid 18?
Yeah. With an 18, you see there is no signs of life or civilization on the surface. So you gather that everything is underground. You can't really make out any way to get there, but as you guys approach and get closer, you notice at the very base of the volcano, there are burrow holes, probably around about 15 feet in diameter. You don't see where they go through or or what may have made them, but you're still a good 100 or so feet out at this point.
Burrow holes, so they've clearly dug under the volcano.
How many of these are we seeing, Jan? Are there like loads of them?
At the moment, you only see 2 because you sort of only can really see this area from where you are. But you gather that just from just from the way they are, that there's probably more around. And at this point, Valandor calls a halt and barks out some instructions, and what was once like a long line, almost like a procession almost of troops, becomes a more organized sort of triangular setup almost of troops, and he slowly beckons everyone to take a very slow but deliberate approach to the base of the mountain. Gildor, make an Arcana check for me.
Yeah, man.
Out of nowhere, you feel a flash of divination, and you also sense that Fallon has the exact same thing. You realise danger is approaching now.
Boys, something's coming. Everyone look lively. And I am going to cast False Life.
As you cast False Life, you give yourself this extra sort of fortitude of energy, and a massive set of explosions of sand emanate around you, and burrowing out of the ground, you see these ankhegs that you've seen a lot during your journeys, but these are different. These are stitched together remnants of dead ankhegs that have been brought to life by some sort of necromantic means. And as these burst out from all there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 of these larger than you've ever seen ankhegs that are made of these pieced together bits of dead flesh. And outside of the ground now come zombies, skeletons, ghouls, and you guys are all surrounded by a multitude of enemies. At this point, Valandor shouts out to the mages, "Attack! Attack!" And bolts of fire, bolts of green like magic energy, purple energy are flying out left, right, and center. And directly ahead of you, Valandor and Ciara are back to back, slicing with their swords and their blazing magic. Valandor looks to you guys and says, "Follow us. We'll carve a path. I need everyone to make dexterity saving throws."
Easy. As I say.
Easy rolls in that 20.
Yeg is extremely dexterous. Yeg stretches in the morning. He has a stretching routine.
Yeah.
It was the way you said easy
throw.
and then just immediately pulled off the nat 20.
I've
Right.
always appreciated that about Yeg.
Everyone except for Yeg and Jaff, you guys take
No.
1 point of acid damage as the bile that is sprayed by these ankhegs showers above you. Most of you manage to roll out of the way. A little bit manages to go on Zarlok and on Gandfal and Snow, as well as who's that one? And Gildor. And you guys just follow as Valandor and Ciara are just slicing zombies and skeletons out of the way. Make one more dexterity saving throw as you reach the nearest burrow hole.
What is it? Dexterity. Easy!
Easy.
You didn't say easy, man.
Zarlok, can you take one? Jesus Christ! You take 1 point of acid damage as another ankheg spits bile at you. Valandor shouts to you, "You guys go in. We'll hold the fort out here. Do what you can. Just stop this man." And he turns around and goes back to slicing some mummified undead as he points basically down. You see this burrow hole goes down, not directly vertical, but at a very steep angle. And you can't really see down, but it goes at least 80, 90 feet down into the darkness.
Give Zarlok a pat on the bum and go, right, you first.
Forward!
Everyone make one last dexterity saving throw as you all descend down this thing.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous!
Everyone starts to like sort of go down, and as Zarlok goes first and they sort of follow in, Gildor, you're at the back. And as you're all sort of trying to climb your way carefully down this very steep descent, Gildor, you slip on a loose bit of rubble, you fall onto your back and start to slide down, and as you slide down, you take everyone out with you, and there's a big tumbling as people start to sort of roll down this almost near vertical descent, just tumbling over each other, and you all land in a pile of soft, squishy remains, and you look around and you see dead carcasses of these ankhegs that your friends upstairs are currently fighting. They don't seem to be animated in any way, and they seem to be more like leftover pieces that have been discarded. And yeah, you now look around, there's a few like glowing gems embedded into the walls that you guys can look around, and you see it sort of now tapers down into a sort of flat surface outside, and there's like sort of a cavern opening ahead of you, which is sort of your only direction that you guys can currently go to.
These gems shining, can I take a look at them and see if they're anything like I recognize?
Yeah, make a investigation or nature check. You don't really recognize them, but as you go close, you realize that they're quite a crumbly thing. They're not really a gem, almost more like a crystallized rock, but it's very brittle and crumbly. It doesn't look like it's valuable in any way. It's more just some sort of rock with some sort of luminescent properties. So do you guys head forward, or are you having a moment to catch your breath?
Are we in a cavern, or are we in a straight sort of like tunnel?
So it's you've stood up from these pile of remains, and there's sort of like around you for about 10 feet is just these piles of dead bits of ankheg, and it's a circular sort of cavern with a tunnel directly in front of you.
Battle formation.
Just quickly before we move on, Jan, the remains that are at the bottom here, are they strictly ankheg remains? Is there remains that look humanoid of any sort? What remains are they?
At least in this pile that you're looking currently at, this burrow hole, it is purely ankheg remains. You should make an investigation check.
Make another one, and it's the same.
You get the impression that this is sort of like a spare parts depot for these necromantic mages, that when they want to either reanimate some dead ankhegs, because the ones upstairs weren't natural, they were pieced together, they were like longer than the usual, they had extra sets of pincers and extra legs and stuff, and this is basically like a spare parts depot they use to just create more of, and they just sort of piece them all together. So you guys head down the cavern, the little tunnel area, and you reach a very large open area with a chasm directly down and these rope bridges connecting small little platforms. And on each of the platforms, you guys see a robed figure wearing ankheg plate armor, a animated zombie, and an animated skeleton. Could everyone please roll initiative?
Can.
Please.
Make sure you keep yourself first.
Zarlok fucking peeling his skin back because he knows he's not going to get attacked first.
Right.
As Gildor, I don't think I've ever rolled higher than a 5 on initiative.
Let us just get the combat music going. And Jaff, you are up first.
Okay, I'm gonna head over to here. I'm going to take my bow off my back and shoot for this hooded figure.
All right, you're after the cultist yet? All right, roll to attack. A 18, I believe hits. Let me just double check. Yes, an 18 hits. Roll damage. 10 piercing damage. The arrow flies through the air and it just goes in between the chink of the armor where the helmet meets the breastplate. And the arrow sort of lodges in there, and you see the blood that comes out. It starts off red, and it just becomes this black ooze. Gildor, you are up next.
I am going to move my character 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I am going to cast Chromatic Orb at first level on Zombie Thrall 1 there, right at the front, if you can see him.
I see. I believe that's a miss, but let me double check. A 10. The 10 hits. 10 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage. And what damage type are you choosing? Out of.
Let's have it be cold damage.
Cold damage, cool. So you hurl this orb of icy energy and it hits the zombie. Roll damage for me. Okay, so you get it takes 21 points of damage, and because you got two of the same, you can now let it leap to another one and make a new damage roll.
I will
a new attack roll. Sorry, who are you asking it to jump to? The cultist or the skeleton?
I'm gonna have it hit the person that Luke has already hit.
Cool. A 12 hits, just about. His armor class is 12, so roll damage again. 9 points of damage is just enough. Oh,
nice.
So as you fire this orb of icy cold energy, it slams into the zombie, knocking it back a few feet, and as it bounces off, it just hits the center of this cultist, and you see that he starts to fall back, he freezes into a block of ice, hits the floor, and shatters into pieces. Like his torso shatters and his arm kind of falls off in a icy mess of death. It's the skeleton's go. He is going to move onto the rope bridge to there. And who can he hit? He is going to see the person that murked the guy that animated him, basically, and he's going to make a short bow attack against you, Gildor. Does an 18 hit?
Shield.
Cool. So as the arrow flies through the air, you just managed to throw up an arcane sigil, and the arcane sigil actually catches the arrow in midair and breaks it in half, and it drops to the floor harmlessly. This zombie is just going to take a dash action and move 60 feet. Where's my measure? There it is. To there. This zombie is going to take a dash action and basically guard the front of the rope bridge there. Cool. Yeg, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to just Hail Mary it. Fuck it. YOLO. I'm going to do Enemies Abound. I'm going to cast Enemies Abound. How do I select again? This guy. And I can't remember.
An intelligence saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, has a minus 2 to intelligence.
Is he immune to being frightened?
He is not, no.
Oh, thank God.
So intelligence save, he fails.
Yes.
So he can't distinguish friend from foe.
Yeah.
And it must choose a target at random within range. Cool.
Yeah, and then yeah.
So this cultist is just going to make a dash action as well, and he has 35 feet of movement, so he'll get to there. Zarlok, you are up.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into a rage, and then I'm going to move forward to here.
Cool.
Just about gets me now. Well, I am now Stormcleaver to swing at this little bastard.
Cool, and you are using reckless attack, yes? If you are, roll that with advantage.
Actually, I'm not going to use reckless attack on this one.
Cool, no worries. 15 hits, roll damage. 11 points of damage. So that reduces his hit points to 0, but however, a Constitution saving throw. And you've done 11 damage, it needs to beat a 16. It does. So instead of dying, it remains on 1 hit point. Basically, slash into the zombie. Stormcleaver goes like 2/3 of the way through. It severs its spine, and it sort of flops over, and then it just reaches like a zombified hand, snaps its spine back into place, sets up, and sort of drools at the mouth, ready to go again. Roll again.
So fucking... Oh, that's crazy. It's a 9.
Yeah. At this, you're so freaked out by this zombie, like basically reattaching its spine to its different vertebrae and looking back up at you. You get a little bit scared, and you sort of lean back as you swipe, and you've managed to harmlessly duck out of the way. You're a little bit off balance, but that is the end of your turn unless you want to take any movement. But I think
I've taken my movement.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Right.
Plus 8 to your attack. That is disgusting.
For now, I'll probably just shoot my bow over at Cultist 2 here.
Oh, roll to attack. 16 hits, roll for damage. 12 piercing damage. Your arrow flies through the air and hits the cultist again in the same sort of chink of armor. You're getting quite good at aiming for that spot.
And then I'm just going to use my movement to basically just come up behind Zarlok.
That's you done? Gildor, you are up.
I am going to...
Make sure, guys, as well, you're marking off spells or rage charges or whatever it is.
I'm already regretting casting shield because I forgot that it takes a spell slot. I'm going to firebolt the same guy that Luke just hit.
This cultist is up here. 26 hits, roll damage. 9 points. So, you fire your bolt of fire. It sort of emanates from your hand in this swirling ball of flame, and you fire it out. It hits the cultist in the chest, kills him, and he topples back and falls off the rope bridge and tumbles for a good 3-4 seconds before he slams into the ground below. It's this zombie's go. He's going to also dash to basically there. And how close are we? Yeah, he's going to take another. This skeleton is going to attack you as well with its short bow.
That is the guy under enemies abound, by the way.
Oh, he is. You are correct.
Yeah.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. We're going to roll 1d10, and that will be whatever number it is. Will be who he attacks or tries to attack.
Well remembered there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
4. So he attacks. 1, 2, 3. Yes, I'll look anyway. The dice do tell a story. Does a 10 hit? No, it doesn't. So that's his go. He's going to use his movement just to move. Oh, Jesus Christ! Don't do that. He's going to use his movement just to go there. And Yeg, you're up.
Yeg, I'm up. What does Yeg do? There's not really anything he can do. I've got no thrown weapons of any kind. I could launch my dagger.
You have your daggers at return.
Yeah, as I said dagger, it's like I suddenly remembered that they returned to me. How far can I throw realistically? Okay. Well, then in that case, I'll step forward a bit, but then I'm just gonna launch it.
But, if you get within 20 feet, you can. You're okay.
Bosh.
So if you get up to there, you'll be all right. Yeah.
For God's sake.
You can move one more forward. It's fine. Cool. Roll to hit.
All right. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
20 hits. Roll damage.
You loved it.
4 piercing damage. So he has to beat a 9 if his Constitution save. And he doesn't. So, as this zombie sort of stands back after having realigned its spine, it looks up and the dagger just hits it square in between the eyes, and it falls back dead. And the dagger zips back to your pocket.
And in that moment, I'm gonna shout, "I'm really sorry, Zarlok. I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
Oh, this music's going off.
Hits, roll damage.
I feel like I'm in a Final Fantasy boss fight. What the fuck?
You sprint forward, angry that YEGOR's stolen your kill, and you make an upward slashing slice, and you literally lop off the left arm of this skeleton, and it's now standing at you, holding its short sword in its one hand. You may attack again if you'd like. Hit to roll damage.
Jesus.
And no sooner have you lopped off one of its arms with a backhanded swipe, you slice across and you literally separate this skeleton into two pieces, and it is now just a bundle of bones on the floor at your feet. You done?
I am.
Can we keep a Zarlok kill count?
That cultist is dead. Jaff, you are up. 12 points of piercing damage. So yeah, you fire an arrow from your bow, and it straight in its eye socket, and the sort of eye becomes like this weird gel fluid as it sort of drips down its very ugly zombie face.
No, at the moment, no.
Cool.
This is a very advantageous fight for me because it's all long range, but I am gonna move up slightly behind these because I don't want to get cut off in case flanked from behind us, what's behind us, and I'm just going to firebolt again the one that Luke has damaged. 9 also hits. The AC is only 8. I think have I got the wrong ones. Yeah, the AC is 8. The AC is hit. 15 points of damage. You fire your bolt of fire, hits it square in the chest, and chars sort of rotten flesh. Still standing, but it's looking rough. We're doing it. We're doing it right now. We've fully came prepared. My turn is over.
Cool. That skeleton's dead. This zombie's go. He is going to come up to you, Zarlok.
If he activated the opportunity of attack of the thrall too.
You are so correct. You are so correct. Yeah. Poor Finn reading his spell descriptions.
Yeah. That's why I've been so quiet, you guys.
It's right now.
6 misses though, so
God, he is such a fuck up, this thrall.
Yeah.
He just let you down.
I respect it massively though, and this zombie is going to make a slam attack against you, Zarlok. 20 hits, 6 points, half to 3 bludgeoning damage because you're raging, so you only take 3 bludgeoning damage.
It's just gonna piss him off.
This zombie rocks up and just sort of slams a fleshy undead arm, and it hurts, but the thing that makes you more uncomfortable is the fact that you've got this slimy, rotten, undead flesh that sort of rubs all over you, and it stinks bad. This skeleton has to roll a D1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I also never rolled these guys' attack. Oh, you know what? Fuck these lot. Can't be us. They've moved up and done fuck all this fight. There we go. They're up there.
Come on, guys. Come on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll a D8. See who he attacks. A 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to aim at you, Gil, with his bow.
Oh.
17 hits.
Yeah, 17 hits.
Ooh.
For 11 points of piercing damage.
Just Master of Mages goes down. Honestly, can I throw that even at disadvantage? I may as well. Just absolutely. Oh, yeah. I'm going to stay exactly where I am and just launch a dagger from this far away because ultimately I'm not using a fucking spell on these guys again. What?
14 hits. Roll damage.
Look at that. 5. Fucking launched it. Fucking cross-map tomahawk.
360 no-scope throwing knife this skeleton, and the dagger sort of like carves off
a rare
bit of bone on his arm. Yeah, you get.
I'm going to not use Storm Cleaver.
You're gonna
fucking bang him in the face.
Go on then. So you swing your fist in a big arc for 8 points of damage. So let's see what he does on his save. So he needs to beat a 13, which he doesn't. So literally, you right hook this zombie, and your fist just pummels through his head and just reduces it to like flesh and viscera, and it sort of stands there for a moment, headless, and it just falls back onto the ground, dead.
Pathetic small bitch.
I'm going to take out my glaive for the first time this fight, and I'm gonna swing directly down on this thing's skull.
Cool. roll damage.
For 20 points of damage.
You bring this is like barely standing skeleton. Like, there are 206 bones in a human body. This one has about 9 left, and you literally bring your glaive down and splinter the bones into a pile of just nothingness, pretty much, almost just ash, as the skeleton lays there dead. And you guys get a nice little victory sound as you complete your battle. Happy days.
Hey.
Owned, mate. We just absolutely owned.
Does anyone have any good ideas for names of the group? You know, I'm writing down all this stuff about us winning stuff, and I'm like,
I know, I'm
triumphs
so
there?
struggling.
Yeah, I don't know.
Zarlok and the followers.
I'll write it down. We'll workshop it.
That's a
Zarlok.
idea. That's a idea.
Yeah, Zarlok and the followers.
I knew a group before. They was called Ricky Bobby and the followers.
You guys all descend this rope bridge staircase down, and the smell goes from like a dark, dank, musty cavern smell to just the smell of death and decay as you get further and further down. Feel free, guys, if anyone would like to make investigation or perception checks as you descend down.
Investigation.
I will do.
Wait, sorry, didn't mean to do that. I'll roll again.
I will do.
Zarlok will all investigate this because he likes the smell.
It's respectable.
Gil and Zarlok, you look at the sort of cavern that your guys are descending through, and you just notice around, like, this is man-made through some sort of fairly recent mining expedition. Like, there is pickaxe marks in the walls, there are bits where there's like an odd pickaxe just left, and as you kind of reach the bottom, you see corpses of fairly recent corpses, probably, you know, a week or two old, maybe, of different humanoids. Most of them look older and frail. No one you recognise, but there are dead bodies at the base, surrounded by some mining equipment.
Would I recognise them as tribe members of Mortuus, or are they not of this?
No, they are no. One thing is, there are no elves. They are all humans, or there are a couple of tieflings. There's actually a couple of dragonborn, some dwarves, some halflings. All humans, humans or humanoids, but no elves.
Can I make a medicine check to see if there's something clearly been done, or an investigation that something been done to these bodies, why these bodies are actually here and what's happened to them, basically.
Yeah, and also, if you would like, you can also make an Arcana check. You're all welcome. Jaff and Gildor, you see that there are no physical wounds. They've not been stabbed or hit over the head or cut to pieces or pierced with a dagger or anything like that. They have died from some other means. And Gil, you feel that whatever was done to them, their death had some necromantic ritual attached to it, because you feel there is an absence of the soul. That although a dead thing would not have a soul, you feel some arcane residue, almost like the soul was sucked out of them.
Right, okay. I've relayed this information to the boys.
It's like their life force has been drained.
Yeah, like their soul leaving their body was the thing that killed them, instead of it happening after they died. Not sure how you defend against that, but yeah.
I'm going to turn to Yeg and remind him of the time we broke out of prison and the warden's note that we collected an awful long time ago.
Yeah.
It was, just for reference for you two that weren't there.
Yes.
That, yeah. And the reference to the mines that was in there, sent to
Sorry,
them.
that should be a V.
Should be a V. Okay. Well, the V on it, Vilga thought, need of slaves in the mines. This seems connected to what was going on in Azureth. This all seems to be connected, Yeg, to what we kind of first stumbled across in that prison.
Now probably isn't the best time to follow up with this bit of backstory after finding out that he's a well-known slave trader. I was told last night that Vilgefortz is my dad.
Oh.
Whilst we were pitching names and riding the high of that fight, no secrets in this group. I have absolutely no doubt that none of you are keeping secrets from me. Absolutely not even one possible chance of that, and I want to be clear. So yeah, and yes, for those of you doing the math, Thalen is my mum. So yeah.
Okay, so for the record,
we're not.
You have a mum and dad?
Your dad is a well-known slave trader.
Yes, and necrophiliac and I sort of
necrophiliac. Jesus.
Necromancer. Definitely. Well, hopefully not a necrophiliac. Jesus.
I meant what I said. I feel like we're going to run into him at some point. I've got to be honest with you. So,
and are you going to be able to handle that?
Honestly, it's very, very embarrassing and childish to say, but the only way I can answer that question is I have a spell that I plan to ritual cast probably 10 minutes before we go in there that will hopefully give me an answer, because at the moment I don't know.
Anti-anxiety medication?
It is actually delete dad. No, it's not.
Power word kill dad.
I can't say
I honestly don't know. He could rattle me with some. I'm not going to go through it all again, but I sort of relayed to them that he had the sort of same ideals that I have. So I don't want him to appeal to those ideals and rattle me and then be like, what the fuck is going on?
If we get in there and you start to backtrack, start to bottle everything that is seemingly going on here, I think I probably speak for myself and probably Zarlok especially as well. Don't fuck this up.
The only family I know is stood around me currently, and that's all I can say to that.
Snow looks a bit sheepish now.
Used to fucking gimps in the corner.
I'm happy to give you your time down there that you need, but don't fuck this up.
We've got your blessing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
important to have that discussion.
There's a lot riding on this, and we're surprisingly smashing it out the park at the moment. So I don't want to be the weak domino.
Yeah, it's like getting married without discussing if both of you want kids. So, should I kill your dad if it comes to it? You have
my blessing. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yan, do we have a rough idea of you said we're descending. Do I get the idea that we're coming close to the sort of center point of this place? I'm imagining sort of a bit like all roads lead to Rome. Are these all converging on a place?
Well, you remember that in your fire gazing ritual part, you saw that Vilgefortz was standing in a temple above the ziggurat pyramid, which that is probably where everything's going to go down. So you have not yet come close to that area. So you get the gist that until you see that, you're not in the mixer, to say.
Okay, thank you. Right, boys, let's fucking crack on.
So yeah, you guys continue to descend as you reach the bottom of this sort of rope staircase down this chasm where you see all the bodies around you. And you continue along the tunnel that it sort of carves through, and you reach a small prison area that seems to be devoid of life, apart from an elven woman in armor without her weapon, laying on the bed. She at present has not noticed you.
As we approach this prison room, I'm going to stick towards the back of the group and kind of hide myself behind the bigger figures.
Yeah. At this point, you can tell she's sleeping restlessly. She looks wiry and thin, as if she hasn't eaten for a while, quite gaunt behind the eyes. But at present, she hasn't noticed you guys are there. Jaff, you do recognize her. The rest of you do not.
I'm going to gesture that Yeg leads us in, as I recall vividly the last time we found a damsel in distress, and it did not go smoothly. So I sort of say, yeah, go on, mate, you take point.
Hello?
She slowly stirs, and she looks up. She says, "Are you here to bring me food?" And she sort of croaks out. You can tell she's not eaten or drank in a while.
Yeah, and I'll give her a jam. It's all I've got.
You see, as you toss the jam through the bars, she like rips open the top and just like with her fingers just sort of pulls out like globs of jam onto her fingers and just sort of sucks it off her fingers like, "Oh, thank you." And she sort of
that was the spicy one. I'm sorry. No, I'm joking.
She sort of comes over to Jaff. Are you hiding at this point?
I'm hiding in the back.
All right.
Actually, what's the light like in here?
It is dark. These windows don't exist, sorry. I couldn't find a proper underground dungeon that I liked. It is pitch black in here. There is a small light on a sconce like here, but it's very low light. This whole area is almost pitch black.
So I'm going to stand at the back. I'm going to take the hide action.
What's going on? Who are you guys? And she looks and obviously only sees you, Gildor, as an elf, as sort of directs her questioning to you, seeing as you're the only friendly-ish face she sees.
We are here to not only free you, but we're here to free the country from the evil deeds that Mortuus are planning. We're not clued up on all of it, but we know it must be stopped. Yeah, we're here to bust you out.
She chuckles and says, "I couldn't give a shit about anything like that, but if we're going to go kill that geezer to put me in here, count me in."
So
Killing!
I like your style, big guy.
Can I make, what is it? So is this a human woman?
It's an elf. It's an elven lady.
I'm going to say to her, before I let you out, why are you here? What good are you in here? What's going on before I let you and a random old stranger out?
She sort of stands up, and you've seen even at the thought of being able to get out of here, she's now reinvigorated with a bit of energy. She says, I'm a complicated past, let's say, but I once was a member of the Aradok tribe. I came here for vengeance and didn't quite go my way, but it looks like you guys are here to give me a second chance." And then she said,
"Does Gildor have the knowledge to put two and two together or not here?"
"In what way?"
"Oh well, I feel I know who this person is above Sable, but I don't know.
If you feel like he could have put it together, you can. Like,
I lean towards Yeg and say, "Isn't this the girl that knows Jaff? Is this the one that went missing? Her sister died, didn't she? And she ran off, and she knows Jaff in some capacity." And as I say Jaff out loud, I'm like, "Where the fuck is he?
Where the fucking
hell.
off in a dungeon."
As you call out the name Jaff, there's like a glimmer of recognition in her face, and she says, "You're here with JPJ, with Jaff?"
No, well, he's not here now, is he? Don't know where the fuck he is.
JPJ's a bit fucking friendly. Hold on a minute.
And she sort of looks down and says, "I knew that man for many years, and I respect him massively."
Lady never tells. Come on, we're all friends here. I'm gonna lean forward to Yeg and say, "Can I kill her yet?"
I don't know. Maybe that's what he. Listen, I don't know enough. Maybe not right this second, but I'm not saying no.
She carries on and says, "Well, if you know where he is, I'd love to see him. I need to.
What's your
apologize.
relation like? Is this something I need to be concerned with? Because listen, Jaff, he's a troubled soul. Do you know what I mean?
Complicated.
Oh, you're telling me that guy has edge doors written all over him?
If I could high five you, I would.
We fought together for many years. We were in a band of mercenaries, I guess you would call us.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I didn't really get a chance to explain everything that happened. It was a bit of a weird situation, and
awkward.
If he was here, if he was here now,
what would you say to him? What would you say to him if he was here? So, pretend I'm him. What would you say?
Oh God.
I'd say sorry. There's a lot to explain. That last time we saw each other back in Denthir was he was consumed by a madness and a vengeance, and I wish I could have talked him out of it, but I wasn't about to go marching to my death, and I think me and the rest of the guys agreed, but I didn't want it to go down the way it did. They just packed up and left, and my choices were either stay and probably die or go with them and get out of there, and I have an oath that I have to keep. I need my vengeance, and I can't do that if I'm not alive, but I would love to explain what happened. And to be clear, once those guys left, they had plans in mind that didn't align with mine, and I went to come back to try and find him, but he was gone, and I respect him a lot, and I think he deserves an explanation.
That is fair. Yeah. All right, shall I try and break her out with the little lockpick?
Yep, so make a dexterity check. I don't think you're proficient with thieves' tools, so you wouldn't be able to add it at your proficiency, but just be a dex check.
But
can I give him the help action, please?
Yeah, you can. I'll say that you cast a little bit of light to give him a hand.
I can add half my proficiency bonus, round it down to any ability check.
Oh yes, you can.
So what is that? What is
what's your proficiency bonus? 3.
Yes. So
you add 1 to the roll.
That's
yeah.
Awesome.
So dex check plus 1.
Freaking
with advantage.
Check.
With advantage.
Well,
that's fine. That one will do it anyway.
No, I did it.
You with the help of Gildor's light and a bit of mage hand action, who sort of like holds the lock steady for you, you manage to clink and unlock the gate and swing it open.
Just like the lockpicking lawyer.
She comes out, and there's a little chest off to the side which has her gear in it, which she gears herself up with.
As she makes her way out of the gate, the light that Triple G has made is immediately snuffed out by a thick black smoke that begins to fill the chamber.
Cool. So everyone apart from Snow is currently in magical darkness, and no one knows where it came from.
Wow! You're gonna hear very deeply unrecognizable voice to you all, and it's gonna say sorry and respect. If you held either of those for me, you wouldn't have done what you did. Of all of the people who could have stood against me, Phalar, I never thought you would have been one of them. You left me for dead like I was no one. You broke my trust. You broke our promises. You were one of the last people I allowed myself to believe in, to fucking care about. And you took that trust and shattered it. Violence repays violence. Evil repays evil. These are now my tenants. And unfortunately for you, my vengeance is here to repay your sorry betrayal. And I've taken on my other form at this point, Jan.
Yep.
I've made my way over next to her, and I'm going to hit her with my glaive, and I'm going to use my smite with it as well.
That is a hit.
It's like a murder mystery.
I was going to say this is a surprise. I was going to say this is a surprise round.
So that's 10
10 slashing, make your smite damage as well.
plus
I knew he didn't get his fucking 8 hours sleep. Fuck. Oh,
27 points
RP.
of damage. She also needs to make a wisdom save.
That's a fail, so she is
which is a
frightened.
fail. And I'm gonna, after I've brought down the first slash on her, I'm gonna say, respect, friendship. You think so fucking highly of me, do you? What a load of fucking shit. And I'm gonna hit her again.
Roll damage.
What is going on right now?
We can't see anything. It's horrifying.
So in this darkness, you don't see anything. You hear everything, and all you hear is a sound that some of you are more familiar with than others, but you all recognise as metal piercing flesh, armour being caved inwards by just sheer anger and aggression, and a wounded cry as this elf drops down to one knee, which you can't see, but you hear the sound of a body almost thudding on the floor. I would say roll initiative, but that was a surprise round, so now we're into normal rounds. The rest of you don't need to, and if you don't want to, if you're just letting things happen, anyone that wants to get involved can, but obviously Jaff, you do, and as does Phalar.
I am not getting involved. I'm blind.
I am blind as well. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so with Phalar's go, let's see. She can't see. She has dark vision. She's frightened, has dark vision, but doesn't help in magical darkness. She is going to...
That girl was just let out, so...
She's going to take disengage action and try and turn and run backwards towards the base of the staircase. So she's going to basically just go, and she's technically off screen. But I'll just leave her there for now. But she's now 30 feet away from you.
Attack of opportunity.
She's taking a disengage action, and as she runs away, she'll escape the darkness at this point. Because you're 50-foot radius, and she's can move 30 feet. And she turns and she says, "Please let me explain. Please."
I'll approach her, and the others will only just hear in, as I say, a very deep, unrecognisable voice. The time for us to talk was long over when you left me for dead.
23 hits. Roll damage. How do you want to do this?
Oh shit.
So she sees my figure leave the darkness. A figure which she necessarily doesn't really recognize at this point. And as I come out, I go low first with my glaive, kind of slicing at her quads, forcing her down to her knees. And I'll say, "Tell me, Phalar, did you hesitate even for a moment? Or was I just to be discarded when convenient?" And I'll leave her a second to answer.
She looks up at you and says, I'm so sorry. I tried to tell them no. I didn't want it to be this way.
Liar! And I fucking chop her head off.
As you bring the glaive across and sever her head, her last word is just "Civis," and then her head lops off, tumbles and rolls a few feet away from her body. The glaive sort of has this shadowy aura around it, and the shadowy aura extends and encompasses the entirety of Phalar, and it starts to vibrate and hum and wrap around, and it just pulls some sort of, you can't see it, but you just sense the energy from Phalar is being pulled, her soul being absorbed by the glaive, and you feel the glaive in your hand more powerful than ever before. You look at the hilt, the name has been removed, and above table, your glaive now does 1d4 necrotic damage extra on a hit.
Wow. as this happens, for the others, the darkness kind of rescinds, and they see a figure standing over a body. It has long black hair, and skin that's kind of peeled back in places, and there's just bone instead of kind of flesh and muscle. It's like peeled back and kind of like ripped open, and there's just bits of kind of white bone poking through. And just as the darkness kind of fully rescinds, I turn around as flesh starts kind of reforming over my face, and this long, greasy black hair is kind of shrinking back to the white, fluffier hair that you will recognize to be Jaff's. And I'll have a singular tear running down my cheek as I kind of drop to my knees and look down at the body for a short while before picking myself back up and kind of silently moving further on past this prison.
Yeah, as the darkness rescinds, you see the figure of Jaff start to reform into his normal self, and at his feet, a decapitated elven woman who was so eager to help you on your journey is now laying there dead.
Hey, Jaff, man.
Oh, fuck.
What the fuck?
Mate. What the fuck?
You know, I'm not gonna say, listen, I'm like getting to the point where I'm over you being a bit mental, but she was like almost integral to the next step, and you just took it upon yourself to control alt delete her.
Look.
That's uncool, man. I can see why they left you for dead. Yeah. Stings. Think about that.
I would like to...
I kind of went to explain myself, but as Yeg says that, I get very silent and just kind of crack on and keep my head down.
For the sake of morale, we're going to have to put a pin in that, but that's getting addressed.
We are such a fucked up group.
Oh, man. We were just come off such a high as well.
I know, the peaks and troughs in the...
I literally had a name for the pod on the tip of my tongue now. I was gone. It was there.
You had a perfect name, yeah.
Smashed by darkness.
So Jaff walks off and you all follow, trying to come to terms with what's just happened, but also understanding that this is not the time nor the place to have those discussions. You exit the prison area and follow the hallway down, and you go through a simple wooden door which is at the end of the hallway. And as you enter, you guys all enter this room which has an altar in the middle and 7 coffins around, and as the last person enters, the door slams shut behind you. There is an altar in the center with some items above, and 7 coffins around this sort of circular area, each with a small stone tablet with an inscription on it that you may all go and read if you would like to get closer.
This place feels sketch.
Yeah, immediate. I'm with you. Immediate perception.
Gandfal. Look at me, Gandfal. Are you with us? Are you sane?
I'm here.
How do you feel about this? You're pretty magical.
It feels kind of bad.
Fucking excellent insight. You roll a nat 20 on that, Gandfal.
You're a fucking disgrace. Perception check. Perception on this room, like anything.
Yeah. Make the necessary checks you'd like to in perception, investigation, whatever.
Yeah, is there any traps about anything like pressure plates, or is there any like buttons?
I would also like to ritual cast detect magic in here. Just is there anything, any of this coming off as?
Can I take a short rest, Jan, while we do that?
Yeah, because he takes 10 minutes to cast, so I'm happy to make a short rest.
We're all resting, are we?
Well, you can't because you're in your 10 minutes. Because it takes 10 minutes to ritual cast it. So if you're in that 10 minutes, you can take a short rest, but you can't because you're currently concentrating on a spell. So on your investigations and checks, you don't notice any traps in the room. The only thing you do notice is that these sort of draconic heads have water coming out of them that sort of make these small little pools in the corners, but no there's a trace. And as you cast detect magic, you can tell that the items on the altar have a strong necromantic aura emanating off them. You can go and investigate what these items are in this 10 minutes if you'd like to.
Yeah, man. Do you want another investigation roll? Or?
Yeah,
No, you can just go over to them.
Yeah, I want to have a little look. I want to know if I see anything. Dodge.
So on the altar there are 6 items, all in these small, very like simple wooden bowls. There is a pile of rotting flesh.
Okay.
There is a skull. There is a vial of blood.
Oh.
There is a foot that is completely wrapped in bandages.
Oh.
And then there is a white sort of globular gel and a black shard of a crystal, both of which you will make Arcana checks on. Anyone would like to?
Yeah, I'm going to. Black shard crystal, interesting. Arcana, Yeg, please. Never mind.
The jets of water coming out of the mouths of these little draconic skulls turn to a green acidic bile, and the holes that they were going through block up, and the floor of the room slowly begins to fill with acid.
Oh, shit.
You are now on the clock. Enjoy.
Shit. Right, is there an... Boys, we got to fucking keep moving. Get out of there.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck it. I'll touch something. I'm going to read one of the inscriptions. I'm just going to run over to the nearest one.
Is that one? Zarlok's going to run over and go, I curse you! And then turn around and look for approval.
I shrug and go, I don't fucking know what's going on, mate. One of them sounded like a vampire. That's all I got. I remember it said something about silver and something about a coffin being a home or something like that. So
that is that one, yeah.
They're all coffins, are they?
They're all coffins.
Fucking perfect, Zarlok.
No, so yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. Snow just jumps in the 6th one there.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so skull in number 1, mummified stuff in 2, bones in 3, flesh in 4, and then I'm lost.
There is a skull. There are no bones. There's a skull. Yeah. There's the shard of the crystal of the phylactery.
I'm losing track of what was on the table. Someone.
Yeah, so
all right. I'll copy them all in as well.
So the pile of flesh. It was a skull, a vial of blood, a foot wrapped in bandage, the white gel, and then a black crystal. Make
a dexterity saving throw to avoid the acid that's now starting to pour around your feet.
That's not good.
Big.
Yeah. You take 3 points of acid damage, but as you switch them around, the candles all ignite, the basins open, and the acid drains out, and a staircase appears in the position of the altar. And Snow gets out of his coffin and says, "Did it work?"
Dude, it did. I'm proud of you, Snow.
Get back in, you're going to close the staircase.
down the stairs.
Alright, as you all descend down the staircase, you reach a familiar sight. You see the outside of the ziggurat that you saw in your fire-gazing ritual, green spectral figures that you can't really make out at this point cluster at the bottom, and you guys are sort of around here. The water's shallow, like it's ankle high, and you make the assumption that you are approaching a critical point in your juncture.
Can I make a perception check? Are there any people can we see, or are we fully alone in here, just us four?
Make a perception check. No one alive. Lots more corpses around another area that you can tell has been excavated fairly recently, but no living people. You are alone.
I don't like this.
I think back to the conversation I had with Yeg, well, everyone really, but Yeg bringing it up, about will I know what to do when I see Vilgefortz, and this is the only idea I have had to think of, and I'm going to cast Augury. I'm going to ask what will happen if I spare Vilgefortz's life.
And just remind me, it's will, woe. I always forget what the 4 different things are. Here it is. Oh,
for good results, it's will. For bad results, it's woe. Will and woe for both good and bad results. And I also nothing for results that aren't especially good or bad.
You get back the wheel and woe.
Fucking brilliant. even my spells are sitting on the fucking fence.
All right, as you approach and you cross over the water, as you approach these green figures, you notice that they're humanoid. They look like, make a harder checks if you'd like to.
Oh, what the fuck?
Gildor, you can tell these are souls, and they're crowding around the bottom, seemingly because they have no purpose anymore. And as you guys approach, they part, just unwanting to get involved with what's about to happen. They don't seem to cause you any obstruction.
Battle formation. Zarlok, you're first.
You guys climb the steps of the ziggurat, and it's made of make investigation or arcana checks as you climb the steps. Just okay. Jaff,
that's huge.
As you climb,
that's huge for the brooding warlock. That's huge.
As you climb, you've seen traces of shadow glass when you were at the in Emberfield, after when you were investigating through all of the rooms of the triumvirate. This is made of shadow glass, but there's something different about it. It's enhanced, it's altered, it's been corrupted. You can't quite tell what, but whatever it has been done to this material, something has been done to change it, to make it more potent, and you get an air of darkness coming from it. Someone that is well versed in the darkness, you know that there is some dark energy that has been imbued into this shadow glass to produce this altered, enhanced version.
Can I hold out my hand and kind of touch this shadow glass that's been used, this shadow glass that I'm kind of observing, and I guess I'm looking for the energy I kind of feel off it, as well as its like texture and just like its properties in terms of like how hard it is, whether it's smooth, whether like that kind of stuff.
As you place your hand on it, it feels like a bit of a misnomer because it doesn't feel like glass. It's not smooth and shiny. It's a dull sort of colour, sort of absorbing the light rather than reflecting it. And as you place your hand onto it, you hear whispers. You hear like the stone not alive, but it has something in it that is trying to communicate, trying to talk. It's not really language, but there is the sound of whispers within.
I'm going to briefly take out an arrowhead from my quiver and try and break off a small bit of this shadow glass.
Make a strength check for me.
Just a straight up strength check.
Straight up strength check.
Right.
You bring the arrowhead down and the arrow just splinters in your hands.
I'm going to tap Zarlok on the shoulder and kind of signal for him to try and break off a bit of this shadow glass.
Before, Zarlok's already swinging his sword.
Cool. Make a strength check for me. Or is actually make an attack roll. You're actually using your weapon properly. You bring down your sword, and it offers a lot of resistance, but a small, palm-sized chunk sort of cracks and breaks off. And as the under area has been exposed, the whispers intensify, and now all of you can hear the whispers as they seem to almost be escaping from this chunk of rock.
I'll just pick that up and put that in my bag of holding quickly.
I don't like this at all.
Okay. You guys continue up to the top. You enter what you saw during your ritual. The entrance to this ziggurat temple atop this pyramid. You walk in and there are undead thralls patrolling, and at the very end of this temple you see Vilforts standing behind the altar. He turns around and looks at you all. Before he speaks, you guys notice around the room there's this green energy that is reminiscent of the same colour that the spectral beings at the foot of the ziggurat steps was, similar in colour, and you notice a lot of it is emanating from these sort of alchemical setups at the end of the hall. As you enter, Vilforts looks and says, I heard all the commotion. I was wondering when people would come searching. And he looks to all of you, and there's a glimmer of recognition to you, Gildor, but it's very brief. And then he looks at the jacket that you're wearing, and he says, I haven't seen that in a while. I wonder where you got that from.
I said, why are you doing this?
Your small, puny minds wouldn't comprehend the levels of research that is going on in this building. And then he looks and he sees Gandfal, and he says, I've seen you before. You came snooping in the Underdark, and how did you get out alive? You know too much. Somewhere in that fractured mind of yours, secrets that people can't get out. You're not leaving here alive.
I'm going to step forward and say, what happened to you? You were right. We should unite this country. You had the right ideas. What pushed you off the path? What is this thing that is bigger and older and darker than the weave?
Raw power, stronger than anything Mistra could bestow to us. Your mind is too small. You're thinking of the tribes and the nation of Zahith. I'm thinking of not even just the world, all worlds, the planes, the power. Someone like you who spent their life in Zahith listening to the stupid leaders of the tribes would understand the true power that could be bestowed to all of us. Now, unfortunately, you've seen too much, you know too much, and you've come with an aggression that can only be met with violence. I want my jacket back, and I want you to be gone. Could everyone please roll initiative?
Fucking pussy. Come on!
Oh, hang on. Yeah, Gildor, you didn't click on your token again.
No.
Okay. Snow is going to go first. He is going to cast Moonbeam. Snow is then going to move forward over to here. That's his go. This skeleton thrall going to move forward a little bit. Here, but these areas are like bits where the reconstruction or the excavation hasn't gone very well, and they're just holes down big chasms.
Oh shit.
And he is going to make a short bow attack at Zarlok. 10 misses, that's his go done. Gildor, you are up. You have your action, bonus action, movement, and any conversation you may wish to have.
I am going to step slightly, and then I am going to... I'm gonna cast... Oh, fuck it. I'm gonna cast Fireball.
Alright.
I'm gonna Fireball Vilgefortz.
A dexterity save. Let me just double.
Shit. How many sixes did I roll there? 1, 2, 3.
That's a fucking nice roll.
Alright, he is going to make his save. And he will use a legendary resistance to automatically make the save. So he only takes 15 points of damage. And as a big explosion of fire goes around him, he like grunts, but he manages to he brings his arm across and sort of absorbs some of the fire. And as he does so, make a perception or an arcana check for me, Gildor. You notice that as he brings his arm across, you see he has like a pauldron of armor on his left arm, and within it there are these 2 black gems, and they radiate the same ancient magic that you felt when you were fire gazing.
As I throw and finish the Fireball, I'm going to say to him, how does that spell energy feel? Feel familiar?
He's so angered by the flame, he can't even sort of begin to understand that the energy that it was thrown towards him is familiar in a sense. And he just sort of grunts and says, I fucking hate you stupid elves that still believe the bullshit that these fucking idiots talk about.
So I'm going to move to this square here. And as I'm moving forward, I'm going to take on my form of dread.
Cool.
So you see my hair grow out black, long, greasy. You see the kind of bones appearing at my arms. And I'm going to hold up one of my hands, and I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast at the thrall in the moonbeam.
Roll to hit. A 12 hits, roll damage. 5 points of force damage. So yeah, as this crackling, dark energy sort of fires out from your hand, it hits the zombie in sort of the chest area and singes the flesh. And it's also it's already kind of rotting away, but more area starts to rot and erode away, and you see its innards start to sort of spill out onto the floor.
Can you make a whiz save on it for me?
I can indeed. For what reason, may I ask? Oh, is it form of dread? Yes.
Form of dread.
It saves.
Oh, it definitely saves.
It saves. Cool. Is that you done?
Yeah, that's bonus action and action.
Cool. Zarlok, you are up.
Stomp Cleaver.
The zombie?
Yes.
Miss, unfortunately.
And then I'm going to do it again.
Roll to hit. That one definitely hits. Roll damage.
That'll hit.
22, 24 damage. So
Great.
as you slice with the first one, just as you're sprinting forward, you sort of bring your sword and arc down. You manage to just get out of the way, but in doing so, it's off balance, and then you just bring your sword horizontally across, and it cuts away a large portion of the flesh of the zombie. So the zombie starts to be ignited by the moon energy, and it stumbles forward now towards the person that attacked it. and it will make a slam attack against Thingy with a crit for 15 points of damage as it slams its fist into the white fur of Snow, smearing it with this red rotting blood and viscera that it's sort of dripping at this point.
I'm gonna just run up to that thrall and stab him in the head with my dagger. Or rather,
would you like to
this sword makes
would you
sense.
like to booming blade your attack? It's yeah.
Go on, let's chuck it in there.
Cool. So if you just put the booming blade in this, you make a normal attack, but just put the booming blade thing in the description as well, just so I remember what extras you get.
Alright, so I'll do this one.
That hits.
And then I click on this.
So at your 5th level, so you roll your damage, do an extra 1d8, and then if it moves, it will take 1d8 damage as well. So roll your damage as normal. 6. Roll a d8 for me as well.
Rolling a d8. God damn.
7, which would kill it, but will it make it save? It needs to beat a 12, which it does. So it's on 1 hit point. So as you run, but it is currently booming blade. So if it moves, it will take a d8. So yeah, as you bring your sword with this vibrant, like almost rhythmic energy, and you sort of stab forward into the stomach of the thrall, it should drop down, but it just manages to hold itself up, ready to go again.
And that's it for me.
You should done? Cool. Any bonus actions? You can inspire if you'd like to as well.
I will inspire. I'll inspire. Go on. Can I inspire Zarlok from here? Give him an extra. Fucking whatever it is at my level.
Yeah, just double. No, it's more than that. Double check your.
I don't know.
Bardic inspiration. So yeah, Zarlok, you have a D8 you can add to any roll, attack roll, ability check, or save if you'd like.
Sweet.
Cool. Gandfal is going to move up to here. He's going to shout over to Vilgefortz and say, I don't remember you. I don't remember much of my time, but I'm not letting you kill me. And he will, with his spells, he is going to cast a hold person at Vilgefortz. So it's a wisdom saving throw. If that is a fail, so he'll use his second legendary resistance to automatically succeed. So he's burned 2 of them.
Cheeky.
Vilgefortz's go. He is going to... let me just double check the range. I think it's long enough, but you might have to move forward a little bit. 120 feet. He is going to cast Silence.
Oh dear.
In that area. So I'm just going to draw
Save is that?
It is no save. It just, that area is silent.
I know I've left it late, but can I counter spell?
You can. So it's a 3rd level spell, so it is automatically countered. But Vilgefortz will use his reaction to counter your counter spell. So that's his action gone, so you can't do it again this turn, but that area is now silenced. And with his bonus action, you will see he will take one of those black gems that are on his pauldron, pull it off, and slam it into his chest, and you watch as his body just begins to shoot tendrils of black necrotic energy. They sort of latch onto his tattoos, and he is now encased in shadow. You don't know quite what this means, but you know it probably isn't good.
Gems pulled you off.
The thrall is going to attack you, Zarlok. 23 is a crit, so 8 damage to you, Zarlok. It's Snow's turn.
Come on, Snow.
He can move the moonbeam 30 feet. I don't think it takes a verbal component to do so. Let me just double check. You need an action to move it yet, but it doesn't cost a verbal thing to move it. So he's going to move it from there onto the skeleton behind. So I'm just going to... He has to make a... it was a constitution save, wasn't it? Fail, so he takes 2d10 radiant damage.
Yeah.
This thrall is going to try and stab at you, Zarlok. 7 misses. That's his go done. Gildor, you are up. You are currently in an area of silence.
So, where I've accidentally drawn that pink dot, is that stable ground? Can I get there and stand there?
Yep, you can stand there.
I am going to
chromatic orb at Vilgefortz.
Go on, feel free.
Can I use one of my 17 portent rolls, please?
You can. That will mean it does hit. So roll down. Well, you roll it, but so you can roll damage through it basically if you want. But
hang on, chromatic orb. There you go. I would have fucking 25 anyway.
Oh, you can use it. You can announce it after the bat, so you can save it if you want.
Is that true? Okay, I'll do that then. I'll save that.
I believe so. Let me just double check your character sheet with the portent bit.
Before, I've seen people do it after. It's up to you. I don't care. I'm actually not bothered either way.
No, you replace it. Oh no, you must choose to do so before the roll. Apologies, you do. So you have used it. So that's why your 17's gone.
I would like that damage to be lightning damage.
Cool. So he takes 15 points of lightning damage as you hurl a orb of lightning directly at him, and it sort of starts to shudder through his body.
As I hit him with the lightning bolt, I say to him, "Look at my fucking face! What do you see? Do you see you or do you see Thalen? You're that fucking right bitch."
As you say those words, he starts to look at you, and he realizes now the jacket, the face, the tattoos that mark you as someone that in his eyes you probably are the master of mages. His face softens for a second as he kind of realizes who he is, and then the black energy that's coursing through him, sort of like his head sorts of like he like rolls his head left to right and like sort of shakes it off and says, "It matters not who you were to Vilgefortz in the past. Now I am something completely different, something beyond your comprehensions. Fallon can go fuck herself."
Honestly, valid, but never mind.
Cool. At the end of your turn, he's going to use a legendary action to use Grim Harvest. He's going to pick the skeleton thrall directly in front of him, who will now disappear, and he will heal 4d4 plus 4, so he will heal 12 hit points.
Can I also have a concentration check, please, because he took damage?
You can, so he needs to roll a 10 or higher, because half the damage is below 10, so the minimum is thing. He gets advantage on this, as he has the Warcaster feat. He saves on the first one anyway, so his silence is maintained. You can get directly behind Zarlok, or you can get directly behind Gildor.
Okay, I'll go directly behind Gildor, and then you see me kind of touch my little orb on my chest where Enfer is, and I will cast Fly, as you see two kind of black wings sprout out of my back. So I then gain 60 feet of movement. My bonus action to douse my glaive in the paralyzing poison.
Cool. Zarlok, you are up.
Swing Storm Cleaver. And it's a zombie.
Hits a zombie, roll damage. 18. So this guy has to roll a nat 23 or higher, or a nat 20 to not be dead. What have you done? You literally. Oh no! You didn't roll on that 20. Sorry, I hear you roll on that 20. As you bring Stormcleave down, you literally carve at the neck, and the head sort of rolls to one side, and he brings his hand over and reattaches it back on, barely alive on 1 hit point.
Zarlok's gonna look really, really fucking confused and just punch it.
11 misses, unfortunately, as you go and swing, and actually, because you go to swing where its head was, and as it pulls its head back to place, your fist sails harmlessly over its shoulder. And that's your. Anything else you want to do?
No, that's me.
Have you? Can you frenzy yet? Or have you? You can frenzy if you want. You can take a bonus action. Sorry, if you can make an extra attack with bonus action as a frenzy. If you choose to frenzy rage.
Yeah, fuck it. Go into frenzy rage.
All right, you get one more attack. 13 hits, roll damage. 14, so he has to roll a 19 or higher to survive.
Surely not.
13 dice. And as you get proper angry at the fact that he's managed to survive, you scream in this angry rage, and you just sort of skewer him on your sword, pick him up off the on the edge of your sword like a kebab, and you fling him off, and he falls down this chasm to his death. He is going to make a slam attack against Snow again. 13 will hit Snow. That's his armor class. So damage-wise, 7 points of bludgeoning damage as Snow takes another hit from this zombie thrall in a silent area. Yeg, you're up.
I'm gonna hit him with the longsword. Yeah, easy.
All right. I will say, because it's an area of silence, your thunder damage won't work. So booming blade will be irrelevant here. You do hit, so roll damage. 5 points of damage. Okay, he has to make a Constitution save to see if he can survive. He's got to roll a 10 or higher.
10 or higher.
Which he doesn't.
Yeah, I'll make my way over sort of this way.
Gandfal is going to use a Misty Step. Got bonus verbal components. Misty Step. It is verbal, so he can't use it. He will just instead walk to here, teetering a little bit on the edge, and he is going to cast Mage Armor on you, Jaff. So, what's your current AC? 16.
16. So
what's your dex?
I've got +3 to dex. I'm 16.
Oh, there's no point then, because it's 13 plus your dex modifier, so he won't do that. He will know that it's not useful on you. Instead, actually, he will cast Mage Armor on you, Gil. So your AC, what's your dex?
My dexterity is +1.
Oh, okay, you're useless as well then. In that case, he will just, here's what you need to do. He's going to cast Haste on Zarlok. +2 to your AC, and you get an extra attack basically on each of your turns. Or you can dash.
4 attacks.
Basically, if you want, you can get 4 attacks, but you can also use that extra action to dash if you want to close distance and stuff, whatever. Or you get +2 to your AC, and your speed is already doubled anyway. And that is Gandfal's go. Time for Vilgefortz's turn. As the black necromantic energy goes through him, you feel, all of you, the same dark energy that you felt when you were in the fire-gazing ritual, when you were staring down at Vilgefortz, and that you felt it watching and pushing back against you. And he simply says, "From the power of darkness, I bid you good night." And he points 2 fingers at Gandfal, and he casts... Where's his character sheet gone? He casts Power Word Kill.
What?
Gandfal...
That's a 9th level spell, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Make Arcana or Perception checks.
Is there any point in me attempting to counterspell this?
You would have to roll a 19 or higher with a straight charisma check. You can try it, but from your Arcana check, Gildor, you can tell that the power that he's used to cast this spell isn't his own innate spell casting, but has been provided to him by whatever that black gem was. And you notice he still has one left.
Oh my fucking god.
Are you trying to counterspell, by the way, Jaff, or are you...
That's going to burn a spell slot for you, though, isn't it?
It has, but yeah, so it's been used. So, as in, you asking for me or asking for Jaff?
Asking for Jaff.
Oh yeah, it will burn a spell slot for him.
Spell slot, yeah.
Up to you, Chief.
Did you say he still has another one left?
He has one more gem left on his pauldron.
And I have no 3rd level spells left. So I have no counterspell.
I'm assuming from your silence you're not going to.
I can't.
So you see, he points out his 2 fingers, and Gildor, you've read about this book in some restricted books in Concilius, and there's no real description of how it works, the casting, what it even looks like. And you've always had images in your mind of it being this very grand thing, but it seems very simple. He simply says the word "good night," and you watch Gandfal just crumple to the floor, devoid of life. And Vilgefortz says, I said you couldn't leave here alive. And with that, he will... Does he have any other bonus actions he can use? Oh, that's an action, sorry. Nope, that's him done. He will end his turn there. Snow, in this area of silence, has just seen one of his new friends die in front of him. He is going to come up behind Gildor, and he's just going to cast a Cure Wounds on himself because he is in a world of pain for 10 hit points. And that is Snow's turn done. This skeleton's go. He is going to make an attack at you, Zarlok, with his short sword, with a crit.
Jesus.
Fucking hell.
10 points of damage, half to 5 for you. He brings his sword up, and rather than hitting you with the blade, he sort of comes down and uses the hilt almost like a hammer on the back of your head. And your head your eye starts to spin, you go a little bit fuzzy, and the thing you messaged me about earlier has now happened. That will be the end of the Thrall's go, as you're sitting there reeling with your head hurting.
I'm going to cast Pasha's Mind Whip on Skeleton Thrall next to Zarlok.
So it's an intelligence save, which he's not very good at. But let's see. -1. So it takes 12 psychic damage, and it can't take a reaction until the end of its next turn.
Going to shout to Zarlok and say, me and Meg have got the skeleton. You go and help Jaff. And I'm going to end my turn.
Jaff, you are up.
I'm going to walk up next to him with my glaive in hand. And okay, I'm just gonna go for an attack with my glaive. I'm gonna swing it down on him as our kind of black shadows are almost like fighting against each other.
Cool. 26 hits, so roll damage and tell me what the saving throw is for your poison. Like the DC has to be.
The poison.
Yeah, so we'll wisdom saving throw first. We'll do that.
Well, it's a whiz save first.
Yep.
For the frightened condition.
19 saves.
Yeah, probably will. The whiz save is for my form of dread.
Yeah, he saved the wisdom save. I'm saying so. His Constitution save, DC 8 plus. I'm assuming you increased
plus Dex.
So
plus
11, 14. It has to be a 14 Constitution save, or he will be paralyzed. He will use his last legendary resistance.
I knew that was coming.
Yep.
I knew that was coming. Well, another swing of my sword, of my glaive, is coming.
Cool. He will throw up a shield on that last one as a reaction to block. So as you bring the glaive down, he casts a spell, and these two spectral black hands sort of clap either side of the glaive and hold it inches above his face and push it back towards you, and you stumble back a foot or two.
He uses shield.
Yes.
I'm going to counterspell his shield.
Roll your damage then. 11. All right. He takes 11 points of damage. And he is rough. As the glaive sort of pierces into his shoulder, he drops down to one knee, and it has to yank the glaive blade out of his shoulder and stands back up. He is on one last hit point.
I thought that killed him.
You had 12 hit points left, and you rolled 11.
Oh my
Is that your turn?
God.
At the end of your turn, he'll use a legendary action to cast Grim Harvest once again, which will kill this zombie thrall, and he will heal by 13 hit points.
What a dick, man. Yeah.
So I'm going to dash there. And then, so my bonus action would now be just one? I have only have
one attack. You only have one attack, yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
25 does hit. Roll your damage.
Surely.
Zarlok Greathorn, how do you want to do this?
Get in.
So after I finish slashing with my sword, I'm gonna, as I come across, immediately sheath it straight back. I'm gonna then grab his head and fucking squeeze as fucking hard as I can until it fucking explodes and my hands meet in. And as Zarlok does that, he is going to say, "Have some of this, you silly prat."
As you clasp your hands either side of his head and begin to squeeze, you can hear the bones start to crack. And as his head starts to sort of close in on itself, this black shadowy energy begins to peter out of him and fill the air around you, and it is again that same feeling, that same presence of this ancient, evil, malevolent darkness. And as it leaves him, I would like Gildor to make a perception check.
Perception, net 20. Oh.
Just before Zarlok brings his hands together and literally destroys his head, after the black smoke has left him, he looks at you, and a final moment of recognition comes across his face, and you see him whisper, "My son, I'm so..." And his head is squished into just a pulp of blood and viscera, and he falls to the floor, dead. As he lays there dead, I feel like that is probably as good a place to any to call it a day, unless anyone has any last things they want to do before we call it, or if not, we can save them for the beginning of next week.
Save it.
Save it, yeah.